Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? So all throughout this week, really ever since the Saints fired Pete Carmichael Jr., we've heard the list of candidates, the formal candidate list, and we've talked about each of them as they've come up. So there's another name today, and seemingly every day it's a new name. On Tuesday it was Gerard Johnson, the quarterback's coach from the Houston Texans. And there's been some scuttle around names that haven't been formally interviewed. John Gruden, remember we're talking about Chip Kelly. So some rumors out there. But as far as formal requests for interviews, the Saints are now up to 8, and the 8th is Mike Sullivan. So Ian Rappaport had it earlier today. The Saints have scheduled an interview with Mike Sullivan, who's the Steelers' quarterback's coach. Earlier this year, Matt Canada was fired as the Steelers' offensive coordinator, and Sullivan took over play-calling duties for Canada when he was fired. For what it's worth, Sullivan's 56 years old. He's kind of a coaching lifer. He did a stint in college, but he's also spent a long time in the NFL. He previously was the offensive coordinator for the Bucs in 2012 and 2013, previously the offensive coordinator for the Giants as well. So he's got NFL offensive coordinator experience, but this is the antithesis of the type of hire that I'm hoping the Saints will make. But there's a deeper layer to the Mike Sullivan conversation. So Sullivan is close to Derek Carr. When Carr was coming out of Fresno and preparing for the NFL draft, Mike Sullivan worked with him. And when David Carr, Derek's older brother, was with the Giants later in his career, Mike Sullivan coached David Carr. So he coached David Carr with the Giants and then worked with Derek Carr as he was getting ready for the draft. So you have a tie here to Derek Carr. And this is my concern. Whenever there's a head coach or coordinator position open, generally optimism abounds. Right? The thought, the hope, the promise of something new and doing something great, it breeds optimism and excitement and energy. This is the thing, though, that I fear with respect to how the Saints may go about making this hire. We've talked about John Gruden, and why would John Gruden make sense? Because Derek Carr had his best seasons with the Raiders when Gruden was there. Although we've peeled back the layers of the onion. They moved the ball. They got a lot of yards. They didn't score a lot of points. That was the birth, the genesis of Derek Carr's red zone issues, which persist today. And then Sullivan, again, I just explained his ties to Carr. So the Saints continue to dig deeper in their support of a lemon. They continue to dig in their heels and build this case for Derek Carr. And I understand to this end, you have guaranteed Derek Carr $100 million. Everybody has a boss. And Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen have to answer to Gail Benson because she's going to pay Derek Carr $100 million. Guaranteed. He's getting $100 million. They got to find a way to get a return on that investment. So to that end, I get it. It's like a business owner who is beholden to his shareholders, who has to go show quarterly earnings reports and has to show a profit. Well, you better do every damn thing you can to make that bottom line look good. And it feels like that's where the Saints are right now with Derek Carr. They're doing everything they can to make that bottom line look good. To where they can say, well, look, that last month of the season, Derek Carr, one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL. They won 4 of their last 5 games. See, it's an upward trajectory. Let's give Derek Carr what he needs. Let's get a receiver. Let's get an offensive coordinator that knows Derek Carr. He'll keep getting better. Except we already know the final chapter of this story. Like, we've seen this movie. Derek Carr is 10 years into his NFL career. You don't need me to say it again. He's 10 years into his NFL career. We know what and who he is. he is, at best, a mid-tier NFL quarterback. I said it all last year leading up to the season, and it wasn't just me saying it. Every single objective metric we could find, every single data point, every list, every PFF list, everything you could find, everything said the exact same thing. Objective and subjective, Derek Carr, mid-tier NFL quarterback. Yet you keep hoping he's more than what he is. You keep hoping he's more than what he is. It's like, you ever had this happen? You ever have like a restaurant that you really like and it closes? And the food's great and you love it and you can't understand why it closes. You ever had that happen? Like somewhere in your neighborhood or whatever? I mean, it happens all the time. And it happens for a variety of different reasons. Could be the location. Maybe you're just on the wrong side of the street. Could be that your competition. You have competition nearby, and even though your food's great, everyone knows that one, so they go there. Maybe you just market it poorly. Maybe you just got bad management that doesn't manage the books, and so what should be a thriving business fails because it's poorly managed. It happens all the time in business. It feels like that's where the Saints are with Derek Carr. But at some point, you've got to cut your losses and realize, man, we are hemorrhaging money. It is time to just, Kevin O'Leary and Shark Tank, take it out back and shoot it. I'm not saying shoot Derek Carr. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm talking about a business concept in this respect. I'm just drawing an analogy, okay? But you got to know when to cut bait and say it's not worth it anymore. But the Saints keep on investing resources, seemingly, into Derek Carr because they're trying to get a return on that investment. And it just doesn't look like it's coming. So when I see the Saints are going to interview Mike Sullivan, who's a 56-year-old, who's been an OC in the NFL, who was by the way, you want to talk about quarterback? He's the quarterback coach of the Steelers. He's had Kenny Pickett. So far into this point in his career, Kenny Pickett, 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions with him as his quarterback coach. By contrast, look at the conversation we had yesterday talking about the job Gerard Johnson has done with rookie C.J. Stroud. Is it all on the quarterback's coach? Not exactly. I mean, you got to have talent as well. But tell me the thing that Mike Sullivan has done that would warrant this job, and the Saints saying, you know what? We just fired Pete Carmichael. We feel like this is really a make-or-break type year. That's the guy I want. I don't get it. My hope is this is just due diligence and nothing more. This is the Saints overturning every rock, every stone, just to make sure. Hey, let's call them in for a conversation, just to be sure. But it is so obvious. You have a long list of guys that are either from the Shanahan or McVay tree, and you have a short list of guys with connections to Derek Carr. And that's who they're going after. Which side of the ledger will it be? Will it be the young, innovative offensive minds that are showing a very clear shift in how the NFL and NFL offenses are trending? Or will it be an old guard hire to placate Derek Carr? We'll find out soon enough. Mike Sullivan, the latest to interview for the Saints OC job. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.